Happy Sunday, everybody. I've been planning on doing this video for a little while. I had some things happen in the last couple of weeks that has me kind of rearranging some things. And so I'm finding myself in a position right now, again, where I'm going to kind of course correct a little bit with this channel. I'm still working on the Greatest President in My Lifetime series. I still have some that are half done on that. The things that make you go, But the videos that I'm going to have coming up are going to seem kind of random and out there. And I find myself, I'm finding myself right now where I need to tie up a lot of loose ends. And I have a lot of unfinished videos that are 50% done, 75% done, 90% done. But I am going to go through and I'm going to kind of refine and finish up all the videos that I had already started. And they're most likely going to be posted in shorter videos until some other things that have taken top priority, I've kind of accomplished those things. But I'm going to start right now with a video that I had 90% done, that I had already recorded. It was an example of the manifesting power of our mind and heart. And I had recorded it as a little bit of a kind of an extra note to the video that I had quickly done in response to Mr. Ryan Upchurch speaking about our existence and timelines. And I shared a couple things about the manifesting power of human beings. But the reason I'm putting this one front and center, shout out to my brother from another mother,
Tío Guillermo,
Uncle Will.
o mi hermano Guillermo.
He posted something today that literally reminded me of the very video that I did, so I wanted to post it. Allow me to share a personal story and an example of the divine manifesting power of a human being. Years ago, this is probably 15, 20 years ago, right? The state lottery had hit a huge jackpot number. And to each his own, there were a lot of people that go out of their way to pool money together, and then they go and buy 500 tickets, 1,000 tickets. We gotta win. I've always been one of those people that if I'm intended to win a jackpot, I'll go buy $1. Maybe $5, I think, is the most I've ever spent. And it's not something I do continuously. But anyway, I was sitting there having a conversation with my husband. We were kind of pondering the idea of, what if we won this $500 million, whatever it was. And my mind began to think and ponder and imagine, right? So I shared with my husband, first of all, I would want to remain anonymous. Coming into that much money all at once, that creates a whole set of very difficult circumstances that people face, and I would avoid that if I could. In the grand scheme of life, I've learned that achieving contentment in what I have is worth everything as opposed to buying everything I think I need. And so there would be a few things that pay off a car, pay off the house, blah, 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 blah. Give money to this family member, send this family member to college, whatever. But I started sharing with my husband, I would love to start like this mysterious, anonymous charity type organization, right? Where I'd have people with boots on the ground kind of stealthily discovering different people in need, whether it's a single mom who needs clothes for her kids for school, or somebody needs a new car, or somebody didn't have enough money to have a Christmas, or whatever. You know what I'm saying. Someone in need, like a legitimate need. Someone who works hard, maybe have fallen on hard times, etc. And then I would use whatever money I had to provide whatever it is that they need, not for the recognition of it or the credit of it, but give the recognition to JC and the Most High and the upper echelon, the Most High echelon, because they would have been the ones that inspired me to do it. Maybe restoring their faith, or maybe even introducing them to the highest authority in this world and giving the credit to them. I even imagined going like through the grocery stores, right, and taping $100 bills on the back of cereal boxes with a little note that says, "You haven't been forgotten, Jesus loves you," or just random acts of kindness. And as I'm imagining all these little hidden and anonymous ways of spreading love and just keeping people going, you know what I mean? I had so much joy running through my heart imagining myself doing that. Like just the feeling of being able to facilitate giving another human being just enough hope or just enough faith to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Because we're not here for somebody to come along and solve all of our problems and dump a bunch of money on our head. We're here to learn, guys. And sometimes it feels in our mind that we can't go any further. And that feeling of just being able to keep going. But, like I said, give the credit to JC and the Most High and the highest echelon. And so, of course, we didn't win the lottery. And I never really thought about that conversation again. Until a year and a half later. It was when the housing bubble burst. My husband was a real estate appraiser. We had a home-based business. It hit our interests very hard. So we entered a period of pretty challenging struggle after that. We found ourselves in a position where we were in 48-hour crisis mode, right? It was 48 hours till we get the power cut off, or it's 48 hours till we get the water cut off, or 48 hours till they repo one of the cars, or you know what I mean? And so we were trying to figure out what to do. Needed the car, needed the water, needed the electricity. Didn't want to borrow any money from anybody. And so this was quite stressful, obviously. But lo and behold, I walked out to the mailbox that day, and I opened it up, and there was a cute envelope. It had like party favors and streamers and all kinds of colorful little designs all over it with our names, handwritten address, and no return address. And so this is curious. I walked inside. I opened up that envelope. Sorry, guys, I might start crying. I opened up that envelope, and inside that envelope was another envelope, just a regular number 10 envelope. And I still have the envelope too, by the way, that had the handwritten words on the outside that said, "Good things happen to good people." And I opened up that envelope, and there was a cashier's check inside of it with just enough money and $3 to spare to be able to keep the lights on, keep the water on, keep the car in the driveway. And memory serves, I think I literally fell to my knees and started crying my eyes out. Because it's not something that we had readily published, that we had hit kind of a hard stretch. And so I don't know if there's something one of us said to whoever that picked up on it and just sent it because they figured we needed it. And we tried to find out who it was. Nobody would cop to it, so we thanked everyone. If you were the person that sent that, you have no idea how much that helped right at that moment. So in that moment, we were able to put one foot in front of the other until we figured everything out. And the reason that I share this story is that our emotions, our thoughts, our brain, and our heart affect this world. Every time you have a thought in your mind and you accompany it with some type of an emotion, that's a prayer, you guys. All of this was taken out of biblical scripture that we should have known about, but we don't, because most don't even look outside of the King James Version of the Bible. This little segment is actually something that is going to come up in an upcoming video that I have. Prayers are not when you clasp your hands together and you put your head down and please, 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 send me a windfall of money, whatever. Prayers require no words. Prayers are generated by combining the thought power of your brain and the heart energy power of an emotion. Combine those two things, there is an energy that is generated by that. And what happens to that? That bounces up into the ether, right? And then the ether, the universe, the power of the universe, the energy in the universe starts shifting things around, right? Does a little switch-o, change-o, and then physically manifests something that ultimately surfaces within this 3D physical world. So when I was sitting in the kitchen imagining this anonymous charity and all the good deeds that you could kind of sneak around and tape a $100 bill here for somebody to buy some groceries, or, you know, buy a single mom a car or a single dad a car so they can get back and forth to work. If some little kid needs some shoes, make sure they have a whole wardrobe to be able to go to school, stuff like that. And the overwhelming joy that would bring me to be able to be in a position to do something like that. As I'm imagining these things with my mind, my thought energy, and I'm feeling the joy in my heart. Joy is the most powerful manifesting energy. Joy. And not only that, but I'm literally imagining it happening. Like I'm visualizing it happen. Just thinking of all these clever little secret ways I could do these different things. I didn't know it at the time. I had just projected a prayer up into the universe. And it turns out the person that ended up receiving it was me. So the moral of this story, guys, is that our thoughts have energy. Our words have energy too. But our thoughts have energy, and our hearts, our emotions, be it love, joy, contentment, whatever, or fear, or anger, or frustration, those are powerful manifesting emotions as well. We, as human beings, have the power to either create or destroy things. And it all comes down to the thoughts we have running through our mind, combined with the energy that channels through our heart. Now, I had that segment planned for something totally different, and I'm also going to go ahead and share a couple of clips from a man named Gregg Braden who discusses this concept at length. And this energy that I'm speaking about, it's not because I'm some weirdo hippie child making up some pie in the sky fairy tale. This is an actual science. This is an actual piece of information that was censored from us, guys. And so I'm only going to share a couple of clips, but I am going to put the link in the description of this video, and I highly recommend everyone, please, if you have a moment, watch the video that I post, because it is some of the most valuable information I've ever come across.
To unleash the force of the divine matrix in our lives, first, we have to understand how it works. And the science tells us how it works. Secondly, we must speak the language that the divine matrix recognizes, and science cannot tell us that. That comes from our past, from our culture, from our history, from those who have learned and used this language for thousands of years. So this is what we're doing right now. We're learning what did Jesus and what did the great masters say about this language. Because it's the same, whether you're talking Buddhist or Hindu or Christian, pre-Christian traditions, they're all telling us that there is a field of energy and that we have the language to use that field. When you make the two, thought and emotion, one. So the Gospel of Thomas is talking about thought and emotion. It's saying when you make your thought and your emotion one, look at what happens. You will say to the mountain, "Mountain, move away," and the mountain will move away.